Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Well, C3 Nick reminds us that Bitcoin has just reached $6,400 on Coinbase. I believe Bitcoin has gone up somewhere, I think it's around $200 or $300 today alone. And so just for those of you that weren't here in the last bull run, Bitcoin was the digital asset that got it all going. I mean, Bitcoin surged ahead of everything else. So I know it surged ahead of XRP, and then all of the other digital assets followed in the weeks and months to come. Okay, but he says, breaking, no pun, Bitcoin just reached $6,400 on Coinbase. That is a good thing for all of us. At Bob in Deep, XRP sent me this. Now, the title of this is from CCN. Title of this is 2,500 times returns. This regulated crypto token awaits a staggering yield. And what this article is basically about is it's showing you kind of how the big boys and the wealthy are going to come in and try to make some easy money themselves and keep it themselves. Blockstack, which has filed with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, to potentially become the first registered crypto token offering, has revealed some of the details of its planned steps in its regulated token sale. If approved, the SEC Stacks token will be sold in 3 different categories. 215 million tokens will be sold at a rate of 12 cents per token to token voucher holders. 40 million tokens will be sold to accredited investors, putting in $5 million or more at a rate of 30 cents per token. And 40 million tokens will be sold in a deal involving Blockstack app mining program. According to the official document, and here's what you need to know. According to the official document filed with the SEC, 24 accredited investors that include the affiliates of the Harvard Management Company purchased around 323 million Stacks tokens at a rate of $0.00012 per token. Now, folks, here's the question you need to ask yourself here. Harvard Management Company, some of the most powerful people in the world, have gone to Harvard and control Harvard. The question I have is, how many buddies do these people have here? See, folks, I've said many times, Goldman Sachs rules the world. Well, where do you think most of these many of the Harvard people go to work, and many of the people at Goldman Sachs went to Harvard? It's all one big club. One of the main reasons I keep talking about how digital assets is going to be so huge is that these people smell the money. And these are the types of things that they are creating for themselves to be able to make tons of it in this, because they know what's coming. There's a reason that Harvard has invested in digital assets. They know what is coming. They're not paying any attention at all to what the market's done in the last 15 months. They're looking at a much more long-term horizon, or probably a midterm anyway. All right, then from Sergeant Obi-Wan, I got this. XRP price prediction and adoption in 2019. Technical indicators show bullish tendencies. A lot of articles are starting to turn very bullish on XRP. The tide is starting to turn. I'm not going to go into this article, but I wanted to make this point. I've seen a lot of really positive articles about XRP and where people think it's about to go here in the last few days, and that is good. Okay, from Radiogenic, I love this type of thing because it shows you what your average person out there is thinking and what the thought patterns are, and it shows you how people at certain ages think. This is from at Radio G3NIC. First of 2. Other day, my stepfather, avid reader, told my mom, I used to think Child was a bit naive regarding all this cryptocurrency stuff. Today, I'm starting to think Child may be onto something. Mom, that's good because I bought some too. And then stepfather, really good. And then two of two, understand my stepfather just recently retired from law practice because everything went digital and he can't do computers. That's the level of Luddite we're talking about here. Now, the adoption we want is coming slowly but surely. The pieces are in place now. And so, but the point here is pretty clear. And this right here really captures it. Can't do computers. So he retired from law practice. And I want you to think about how many of those types have been talking down about Bitcoin, whether it's a Warren Buffett or, I mean, Peter Schiff is not that old, but he's also old. He's still older school. And so there is going to be some of these people, and like I said before, when Peter Schiff said that somebody had given him some Bitcoin, but he didn't know how to sell it, that spoke volumes to me, because that's when you can't possibly weigh in on all of this if you haven't even moved it around or sold it or bought it. And anybody who's weighing in without having done that, I don't take seriously, even though I respect a lot of them. But anyway, I just thought this was interesting. All right. And next, from Brian Melancholy XRP at Mike Honcho _11 sent me this. And this is from Mark Phillips. This is a fascinating little write-up here. If U.S. government, optioned 22 billion XRP, less than half now in escrow with Ripple, and set allowed conditions for it to mature to $1,000 per XRP, that could eliminate $22 trillion public debt without devaluing the U.S. dollar, while providing liquidity for faster payments. Thoughts? And he's copying that to Steve Mnuchin, who is the Secretary of Treasury. But that is a fascinating thought pattern right there. Next, from Bond Crypt. Banks are waking up to fintech threat, throw billions into digital. Spain's Banco Santander SA announced a few weeks ago that it will funnel 20 billion euros, $22 billion into digital transformation and infotech in the next 4 years. Now, I only wanted to show you this just to illustrate the point that I keep making, which is these banks, they're either going to get on board or they're going to die. It's really those two simple choices. And I know banks in my town that will die if they do not get into digital assets. And I think there will be a combination. You will have nouveau banks, where new banks that are just created around digital but also fiat, and then you're going to have the traditional banks that just add digital assets to their current platforms. But if they don't start working on it, they're going to be in trouble. Okay, from XRP Researcher, he's at XRP _news, and he also has a website. And he sent me this article, and I think you all need to go look at it just to see the significance of Ripple and what the use case they're working on for XRP. His website is XRP. My wife is calling him. She knows that I have to finish videos occasionally, and then I'll call her back. Okay. Top 14. By the way, for those of you that wonder, my wife does not even watch my videos. My wife doesn't. For her, listening to my videos is kind of the same way it is for me. It's almost painful for me to listen to my own videos because you are your biggest criticizer. You judge yourself much more harshly than others do. But I'm judged on a daily basis by others. But to listen to it yourself, and I think it's just as hard on my wife to listen to it when I do these things. But she just shakes her head. She doesn't understand this whole the idea of this whole thing. But anyway, top 14. His website is xrprightnow.com. Top 14 money transfer companies and Ripple's connection. And he goes through. He lists the top 14 of these money transfer companies, and then breaks them all down. You need to go through and read all of these. I'll just pick one at random just to read for you his write-up. Let's take the 7th. Okay, here's Walmart. This is an easy one. Walmart offers 2 services, Walmart to World, which utilized MoneyGram, who is a confirmed partner of Ripple, see above. And they also have Walmart to Walmart, which uses RIA, who is another confirmed partner of Ripple. So Walmart is a big fat yes. But anyway, they go through every single thing that Ripple has in the works. And this is a very thorough, really good article, and you need to go check it out. All right, next. This is from XRP Trooper, at Trooper XRP. And he sent me this. I love this. This is Gemini, one of Gemini's ads that's in New York City. Every once in a while, I see a different version of their ad. I've seen it on buses, I've seen it on taxi cabs, and I've seen it in the subway. But the only bad thing about Gemini is that they will not even speak of XRP, I guess because the Winklevoss brothers are big Bitcoin holders, and they know that XRP would take a lot away from Bitcoin, which that just screams conflict of interest. I don't understand why I mean, that's just a weird thing. But anyway, okay, moving along. NBK Crypto, at NBKLYRAD, sent me this. And this is crypto mortgages powered by Ethereum are coming to New York and California. Now, one thing that I keep saying, every financial product that you know will be done with digital assets. And then new ones will be invented, things we haven't even thought of yet. But here come the mortgages. California and New York residents could soon be taking out mortgages that are facilitated by cryptocurrencies and smart contracts. On Thursday, Fluidity, a fintech startup, announced its plan to launch the first Ethereum-powered home loans in those two states by this summer, according to a tweet from the company. Prior to the official announcement, this guy, Fluidity's chief architect, outlined CoinDesk how such an offering would work. We'll tokenize the house, which will effectively take the collateral that is the equity of the house. You're pledging the house and you get an advanced rate back in terms of dollars. Our methodology provides better pricing that is determined solely by the intrinsic credit of the transaction, as opposed to external factors like domestic central bank governance policies and political trade winds. That is huge, folks. Okay, let me get rid of that. Next, XRP Veteran sent this. This is an old slide from Status, and you can go to his website. He's at Status, and he's got his website on his Twitter handle. Go to his Twitter thing, is at Status. But this is an old slide that he did, but it's a quote of Brad Garlinghouse. And XRP Veteran says, "You sure you don't hold? You sure you don't hold? We are going to drive a massive amount of demand for XRP because we're solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem." Great point, XRP Veteran. Okay, got this from Crypto Dash. Do you remember Brad Sherman, one of the congressmen yesterday, called for a ban on cryptocurrencies? Well, as we all know, all of these congressmen what's behind the congressman is somebody throwing money at them to get them elected, and those are the people they are beholden to, which is part of the reason I don't pay much attention to them. So crypto_dash XRP went and found out a list of Brad Sherman's donors, top contributors to Brad Sherman campaign finance this year alone, mostly all banks. You can't make this stuff up, even if you have the imagination to do it. Well, I looked at his document and I couldn't read it well, so I looked at where his source was. It was opensecrets.org, and I went to that website. Representative Brad Sherman, Royal Business Bank, Capital Group Companies, which would be Capital One, I guess, would be those guys. But UBS, you see Credit Union, there's all sorts of Capital One Financial. There's all sorts of bank-type companies that are giving this guy money, so you can see what his deal is. All right, and next, this is one of those things, every once in a while, I will see a video that I feel like I just need to show you about how the world is going to change. I saw this and thought it was cool and thought I would show you. A firefighting drone. Now just imagine if there were huge firefighting drones in, say, New York City, like when the Twin Towers were hit. I wonder if it could have had any kind of effect to send big drones with huge water hoses up there to pound that fire with the water. Who knows what could have happened? Or just in general, what could happen with a fire like this? Really fascinating how things are going to change over the next few years for all of us. Then finally, I got this from XRP Wizard, at Wizard XRP. Great quote. We go through the worst to get the best. Oh, how many times I have done that. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that we do go through the worst to get to the best. Thanks for listening.